Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Inventoria, or well, my personal game. This is one of my dream games I've always wanted to make, and it's a survival game where you're able to basically create whatever you want, except not in a Minecraft type of way, but in more of a Besiege type of way. Now hopefully I did pronounce that right, but I just love games that are like factory style creation, where it's just everything can connect with each other, even like Minecraft's create mod. Something like that I've always wanted to make, and I'm going to be developing it here. One of the main features of my game is going to include these sprites, which I've completely stolen from Fortnite. Yes, Fortnite's a dead game, but their sprites recently have actually piqued my interest. So I'll be going over that in a sec, but for now, I do want to show you a few other things that I started working on, because last y'all checked this game didn't even exist. So sit back, relax, grab your snack, holy bars, whatever. I hope you guys enjoy this game. Let's get right into it. Oh, and real quick, I do have a Discord server, and I'm sorry, my link hasn't been working recently because I am not actually as active on Discord, but I definitely want to be able to talk with you guys more because I can only do so much in the comments. So I did fix the link. If you guys would like to join, we'll be talking. I want to talk with you guys. I want to be talking about this game, and we can all just, connect and all that type of stuff. Anyways, back to the video. Alright, so when I first wanted to make this game, I already knew the art style that I wanted, but I did not know any of the other really technical details. There were some things that I knew I wanted, like I wanted it to be a top-down type of game. I don't know how much really rotation I would want, if your camera's stuck or if it would automatically move or whatever. I think I'm more leaning towards the automatically move, but I definitely know that I wanted it to be a more isometric type of look. I created a simple player, as you see here. You gotta have B. And this player is, again, really simple. We have our camera pivot over here. This just moves with the player smoothly while the camera is stuck at right here. It's stuck in a isometric angle. So the pivots is right here. So if I try to rotate this, the camera would easily rotate around the player. So now this really helps because the camera doesn't need to be complicated at all. And based off of what we do, I can adjust some of these values. Like, let's say there's an enemy ahead of you, I could lower this a little bit smoothly, or I could rotate around the player like this pretty easily. But for now, I'm pretty sure we're just going to stay in this isometric view. On the player body, as you see here, it's a rigid body. I made a really simple player controller connected with our input actions so that this can work with any type of controller. That way we can have controllers or keyboards, mouse, whatever you want. And over here we have, I guess, our body and then our mini map icon. All we do is we move around, face the direction we're moving, and that's literally it. The camera moves smoothly, as you can see, and there's really nothing else to it. So as you see here, actually no, then you're not able to see. It's kind of annoying. If I make this darker for now. As you see here, whenever I move on a mini map, you can see that it's also moving up there. And it's really simply built. All I did was just have a sprite that's on top of the player body. I mean, separate from the player body, and that's on a mini-map layer. And then a simple camera that always follows the player except under a smooth time has this mini-map camera, which is literally just setting its position over a period of time so that's a little bit more smooth. And then its cooling mask has the mini-map and the ground behind it. So if I remove ground, all it's going to see is the mini-map stuff on the mini-map layer, and the only stuff on the mini-map layer are these sprites. So if I have ground back, as you see, it works there. If I take this and duplicate it and take it out of everything, as you see, I can't see it in my actual player view, but it's still there, as you see on the mini-map up here. Next, I added an inventory system, which again was pretty simple. Now, the hardest part about the inventory system was what type of one I wanted, because I knew I wanted a hotbar, but I did not know everything else that I wanted. So let me just show you guys how it works real quick. As you see, I'm inside the game. If I hit tab, then I have my inventory. Now, I wanted to be able to see some stats about our objects, since I want to add so many items into the game, and that would be over here. If I press I, it's going to add, as you see here, it's going to add our object, which is temporary. Design is temporary. And this stuff is just wood, and it's really simple. I can drag and drop it into any slot, kind of like Minecraft. If I hit K, it's going to add an axe. Now, I'll try to show the tutorial because this was not on me. Credit to the person that made the tutorial. It should be on the screen right now. Is you're able to drag into any slot you want. You're not able to separate something once it's combined, but you're able to, if I press K again, items that can only hold a stack of 1, again, won't stack, but items that can stack more, I think this can hold 9, okay, never mind, it can hold 16, can stack more, as you see right there, and I cannot put it onto it. What's happening here is when I drag it over, it swaps places. The link to this tutorial that I followed to make this will be down in the description below. But onto the part that we've all been waiting for, is the entities. Now, entity objects are pretty simple. All we have is a billboard, as you see right here, and it just faces our camera based off of a distance. Not based off of a distance, it always faces the camera, but it might disappear based off of a distance. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting this all so mixed up. Then we have our sprite right here, which is for of course, the mini map, as you see up here. Now we can see the mini map. And then our entity right here. Now the entity object is so complicated, right? So we have our billboard over here that is making it disappear based off of a distance, and I want it to be really complicated just so that we can use it for every entity later, you know. Real quick interruption, this is Nate from the future. I realized that I probably did not go into enough detail on that part. What I meant to say is I want every entity to basically follow kind of the same workflow, to feel the same but with different parameters, but enough parameters so that each entity feels unique while still feeling the same vibe. If you understand what that means, it's kind of a little bit complicated in my opinion, but think of it, I got it, the ideas from the Fortnite sprites. Yes, I know for sure, dead game, but they are pretty cool in my opinion because of, you see all these different sprite types on the left side. All these different sprite types, you have the water, the earth, the fire, the duck, and all these other ones. They all have different variations. So this one's gold, and they do different things. Galaxy, 0 Point, glass, whatever they are, they're all really, really pretty cool because they all have the same vibe but have different abilities that make them all feel unique. And it's so fun to see the variations of them. It's kind of the same thing I want to do here, where an earth sprite could look different, could look like something like this. Obviously, I'm not going to steal this exact design, but could look something like this. And then the ghost sprites could look something like this, but they both behave and feel the same, except with a few different type of parameters. Something like this, where you have different icons for them, would be pretty cool. And something like this, of course, over here is also pretty cool. I love the idea of finding different ones that do different things. When I say different things, I mean that the fire sprite would avoid water, hop around, avoid water, and be more hostile, while the water sprite is a little bit more, wants to go towards the water. So all those that's what I mean when I say I want everything to be kind of different, but the same. Anyways, back to the video. So that's what we have there. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff over here that we can change. And basically, hold on, let me just show them in action because obviously that's what everyone wants to see. So as you see here, we have our sprite that just moves around. Right now it's just wandering. Now it's only red. This is a base class. Hold on, let me turn on the gizmos. This is base class, and it just doesn't really do anything else except for walk around. Now I did set up some keybinds, so if I press I, you can't really see the move because it turned gray. But okay, I can't go over there. Yeah, all right. Okay, yeah. So if I press I, as you see, its anger is all the way down. Now it's just calm. It's not really neutral anymore. It's literally just calm. I need to somehow guide it this way. Oh goodness, I should probably make this floor a little bit bigger. So as you see, now it's back to happy. Each of its emotions go back towards its default state, and its default state is neutral because its sensitivity is more in the neutral direction. I'll explain that a little bit more later. If I press U, that ups its anger more, and as you see now it's angry. And if I get near it, it should try to get me. I don't know why it's not right now. So as you see, I kind of forgot to add the target mask to its senses, so we're going to have to add that. Okay, for some reason, there's some bug in my code, and it was working literally just right before I started recording, but it's not working now. And I don't seem to understand why, but it's okay, because I don't want to go too in depth on how everything works, but for now, I'll show you guys just the basics. what it should be doing is whenever it's angry, my bad, wrong button. Whenever it's angry, it's more hostile, which means it's more prone to just attack. As you see, this number down here is going down okay, it passed the threshold and now it's not angry anymore. This number goes down over time or tries to get to baseline. The baseline is 0, 0 for both. And if I go to over here, the mood controller is what controls that. The mood controller, we have a mood profile, and this mood profile is just how much everything should change. So if I set its base anger to 1 and then hit play, as you can see, its base anger is 1. And now I can try to calm it down, but over time, it's going to, instead of staying at 0, it's going to pass 0, as you see here, and go all the way back up to 1. And now it's going to be hostile again. If I make its positivity sensitivity all the way down, then try to make it happy, nothing's going to happen at all. So to make a hostile enemy, all I would need to do is just turn the calming sensitivity all the way down and make the base anger all the way up. Now it's not able to calm down. All it can do is just get more angry. And if I want to make its positivity all the way down, then it's really just a angry creature and it just never is able to get happy, which is actually kind of depressing and sad. But yes, these values, the baseline values always go towards whatever I set right here. And all this just determines how fast it goes towards a certain place on our mood map. Now the mood map right here is just some points on a what's it called? It's just, again, a map. But these points, you can imagine them on a board. The neutral one is at 0, 0, so it's in the center, and it's just a 2D plane with from -1, -1 to +1, +1, and we're going towards those values based off of our mood. And now the things that can affect this mood could be a area. So for example, a water sprite would just love to be near water and its friends more. So all of its friends will have a box around them, which boosts every other sprite except for themselves around it, right? Just a small amount, it just boosts the happiness. So if you want to have a sprite that's happy, I don't know if I'm going to really call them sprites in the end, because again, this is stolen just from Fortnite. But these entities, these sprites, if they're around each other, they're more, again, they're just more happy because they have a box around them that's boosting each other's moods. And these boxes don't have to be limited to just the moving elements. They can be aerial. So if I have a river, since a water sprite would like the water, sorry, we're going to come up with a name. Join the Discord server to come up to say some names, because I don't really want to call them sprites. It's just the only thing I can really think of. I don't really know what else to really call them. These elemental entities, there you go. Near the water, as you see, if we had some water over here, it would have a box or just an area around it that just makes it boosts the moods of specifically sprites that like water. So it's really customizable. If I want to make a happy sprite, all I need to do is, again, go to its mood board. If I can find it, go to its mood board and change its positivity, sensitivity all the way up, and its base happiness a little bit higher, and then it would be happier by default. And these moves affect its movement and the things that it does. So as you see, this movement script over here, all it does is move it in a random direction every once in a while and select a random point. If it's more sad, its movement speed would be slower. And if it's more happy, its movement speed could be faster. All these elemental sprites will have special abilities, right? So it's able to activate those special abilities every once in a while. For example, the fire sprite has a chance every few seconds to just light the stuff around it on fire. Now it's just a small little spark flame, maybe the flyers just light on fire and leaves a charred path behind. That can be helpful for some things inside the game that we can get into later. But these elemental entities have these different effects that just happen every once in a while, and the probability of that happening can be determined based off of its mood. So just like in Minecraft, when it comes to some things you want to be a little bit happy, like villagers, how you want them to be happier to be able to trade with them good trades, it's the same thing here. Let's say you have a water sprite that's supplying your water for your I don't know the pipes in your machine. I don't know yet. I don't know every single detail. But that water sprite would need to be happier. So just grab a few more to be around it, and they'll all be happier, and the production is higher, and just stuff like that. These little abilities I think will make it a bit fun and pretty interesting. And I want to build a really interchangeable compact system like this, where each script is separate. That way it's really easy to add and remove some stuff. So for example, I don't actually need a senses script. If I remove it, or what should be, given my code is probably really bad right now, if I remove the senses, I want it to still be able to work, but now it's on a default profile. It doesn't really have anything else. And that's just the basics of my entire idea for this project. And it is really important to me because this was actually one of the first game concepts I had back in 2020 when I started game development. So it's really nice being able to make something like this now. Kind of like fulfilling a promise to my younger self, if you know. But that's really it for today. If you guys want to talk to me more, I want to talk to you guys some more. So you can either comment down below or again join the Discord server. The link will be in the description. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment, everything, all the 9 bunch. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.